before that, I did just want to do a quick shout out. So obviously, what you and I are going to be talking about is this Lindsay Peterson conversation, but kind of in between that, us agreed to do that, and this episode actually happening. Friend of the show, I use that phrase in a shitty, ironic way a lot, but actual friend of the show, Emma Vigeland.
Not Charlie Kirk kind of friend, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Emma Vigeland's been a guest been on the show a few times. She was on our New York live show. We like Emma. She was on Tim Pool's show, like,
oh fuck yeah, that was amazing. Yeah,
a couple days ago. Now, you've probably seen, I mean, maybe the whole thing. At any rate, I'm sure you've seen more than I have. I haven't had much of a chance to dive into it yet. I have, I mean, as eager as I am, it's also an hour and a half of Tim Pool. And so like it might, like there's only so much of that I can digest at a time. So I haven't actually carved out time to watch the whole thing yet, but I was watching a video about it, and they played this clip that we're about to see. And I actually really, really liked how she handled this. So I just wanted to to shout this out before we got to Lindsay Peterson. Jake, do we have the clip of Emma and Tim Pool?
Why do you think 25 people got shoved in front of trains last year?
I don't know, dude.
Well, that's a legitimate question. You're saying that you're saying poverty and desperation results in crime. I'm wondering why it is that you've had these homeless guys. They've been predominantly, I think it's almost entirely these homeless guys, shoving people in front of trains. Last year it was 25. And so that's a mental health problem. I mean, we do have a mental health problem in this country. We have an issue with not having socialized healthcare, where people are unable to access healthcare, mental health care in particular, but also every other kind of healthcare. I mean, 28 million uninsured people in this country. That's a massive problem. I mean, what is your stance on Medicare for all and healthcare? I'm for universal healthcare.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I think we'd have to have some kind of like basic coverage for universal standard, meaning like if you're having an episode, this is particularly where we bring you in, we help you. If you're broken bones, flu, things that it's like relatively simple and knowledge based.
All right. Again, it's a small thing. Like Tim doesn't even look, I'm sure an hour and a half of Tim talking, like he says many crazy things. He doesn't even say anything crazy in this clip. I do think, I don't think his position is super well thought out. I think this idea that like you should have Medicare for all, but like only for emergencies, only does not make a lot of sense. And actually, like even in terms of cost efficiency, it doesn't make sense. An ounce of prevention, right, is worth a pound of cure. And in particular, honestly, with existing community mental health, that is publicly funded, that already exists, that's a big problem, that it's so underfunded that like it's very difficult to get in unless you've kind of already had an episode and done something that showed that you were dangerous to yourself or others. So I'm not, whatever. It could be a lot worse. At least he's sort of on board with the basic principle. He doesn't say anything too bad here. But what I really liked about how Emma handled this was that Tim is basically started, he didn't start that out with the intention of talking about Medicare for all. He wanted to, he just wanted to do a little bit of conservative coded fear mongering. And I think Emma did exactly what you should do in that situation, which is like, don't sit there and argue about that. Just immediately redirect it to like, what's the substantive issue underlying it? What about like, okay, like what you're describing is not just like, we happen to have a bunch of people with bad souls in this country or whatever. Like what you're describing, is lack of mental health care. So what do you actually want to do about that, Tim?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it reflects something important about the conservative worldview and what they're not really enabling themselves to think about. Because if you were to imply that there's systemic reasons why a homeless person might push someone in front of a train, then you might say that there are systemic solutions, or at least possible systemic solutions to those kind of problems. But that doesn't seem to be what Poole really wanted to get at. Right? He wanted to like, these people are crazy and they're out there and they're dangerous and they're violent. And the most that we can maybe do is deal with the symptom of this issue, which is to throw these people in jail and then toss away the key. And I think she did a fantastic job of just always going back to the more structural features of leftist worldview and saying, look, if you're concerned about those kind of things, there are solutions to them. One of them might be not throwing people with mental health problems onto the street where they're going to be a danger to themselves and a danger to others, but actually treating with dignity and humanity and allowing them to access the help that they need.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
She was also just cool as a fucking cucumber that whole time. So really mad props for her in that respect, right? I was really just impressed by the performance overall.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really well said on all points. You have been watching free public content from Give Them an Argument. To access every single episode of the show, the main show on Monday nights, all of the streams, all of the debate breakdowns, all of the patron-exclusive post-games on Monday nights, all of the patron-exclusive bonus episodes every week, and much, much more, go to patreon.com/Ben Burgis. I cannot resist ending this with, don't be foolish.